Hi, my name's Kate Usher and I'm a menopause and positive aging coach, and today I'm going to be talking about the art of menopausal conversations at work. Now, before I begin, it's entirely down to you whether you do have a conversation of this type, and no woman should feel pressured to do so. However, if you are finding that your menopausal symptoms are affecting your ability to do your job or your behaviours at work, then it may be in your best interests to have a conversation with your manager, HR, or Occupational Health. Now, in the UK, the CIPD have recently released documentation to help HR professionals and managers in this area, and that may be a good place for you to start. They are excellent materials and they offer some really good sound advice, and I would strongly advise you to go to the CIPD website and take a look at those, because that will enable you to arm yourself with some of the information that you may need to have a conversation of this type. But on a personal level, I've got 5 points, 5 easy points for you to think about before you approach anybody. So, number 1, what is your desired outcome? What would you like to have happen? Be clear about which of your symptoms are the most impactful and which you would like adjustments for. Perhaps you'd just like a quiet space to retreat to when it all gets too much, or alternatively some flexi time to enable you to come in late or go home a little early occasionally when you find that you're just not sleeping. Perhaps you'd like additional storage or locker space for clean clothes and sanitary products. Or lastly, perhaps you'd like the well-used desk fan or handheld fan to help with hot flushes and cold water. Whichever it is, and it may be all of those or none of those, whatever it is, make sure that you are clear about what it is that you want. This will help you approach this conversation with purpose, and that will help you get what you would like at the end of it. Number 2, do your homework. Does your organisation have a menopause policy? And if it does it incorporate the symptoms that you're suffering from? If it's no to either of those, maybe take a look at other policies within the wellbeing sphere. You may find that there are similarities or options within those that your organisation offers to other areas, such as mental illness or long-term illness, that you may be able to request. Now, I'd like to say categorically that the menopause is absolutely not an illness. It is a life phase for all women, and we will all have one. It is not an illness, and therefore it is just a temporary phase that we as women will all pass through. So do your homework. What does your organisation offer? Number 3, find a quiet space. You will feel much happier about having this type of conversation without the fear of being interrupted or overheard. So in the modern office today, it's more than likely you will need to book a meeting room. Number 4, choose who you wish to speak to. If you don't feel comfortable having this type of conversation with either your manager or the person in HR that you're meant to speak to, you are well within your rights to ask to speak to somebody else that you feel more comfortable speaking to. What you're looking for here is a constructive conversation, not awkward silence. So think about who it is, what your options are, and make your choice. Number 5, the 7 Ps. Prior preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance. And it does. This is an old army saying, and I love it, and it incorporates the previous 4 points. It's about making sure that you've prepared yourself, that you've looked at what it is that's out there, that you've prepared the ground for the conversation, and that you know who you're speaking to. And once you've done that, start thinking about what it is that you'd like to say and what it is that the person that you're going to speak to is likely to say back. Have some idea about the way it's going to go. This will prepare you. It will enable you to get the most out of this conversation, especially if you find that you lose your thread halfway through, that you forget the sentence that you were going to say, that your face flushes, you start to sweat, and then you just completely lose your direction. Perhaps you burst into tears or just go into stunned silence. If you prepare yourself properly, it will enable you to achieve the best that you can in this environment. Because let's face it, if you weren't in this situation, you wouldn't be having this conversation. So give yourself a break, do your homework, prepare yourself, and make sure that you're ready to get the most out of this. This is not rocket science. You have used these skills many times before, and I know this because you are a professional and successful businesswoman. So use the 7 Ps, prepare yourself properly, book your room, choose your person, do your homework, and be clear about what it is that you want at the end of this. Good luck.